How's it going, guys? This is Steve, and in today's video I'm going to be showing you how to make your very own 40mm grenade launcher for Airsoft. First and foremost, you're going to need an 1.5" PVC pipe. This is really close to the 40mm grenade's diameter. You only need to do a little bit of shaving down to get the grenade to fit pretty snug. So it's not going to fit right away, but that's okay. We're going to file it down later, and I'll show you how I did it. You're going to either want to get the pipe that has this weird coupling on the end of it already, like it's a part of the pipe, or get a coupling on the side if you just get regular, like the regular white PVC. If you get that, get a regular coupling. But I had this at work already, so this is what I decided to use. Next, you're going to want to get a caulking gun. I used the no drip style one because it's a really simple mechanism. You could probably do this with the ratcheting style caulking guns, but I used the non drip one and it worked really well for me. Next, you're going to need a spring. I got mine from Ace Hardware, and this is what we're going to use to put over the back of the caulking gun to get the firing pin to return after you're done firing the grenade launcher. And you don't want it to be super stiff either. Get a spring that you're able to squeeze with your fingers still. Then you'll just need some smaller things like duct tape, hot glue, whatever tools you have. You could probably do this with hand tools. I use power tools because I'm lucky and spoiled, but if you just have hand tools, you could get this done. Step 1. You're going to need to determine the length that you want your grenade launcher barrel to be, cut your pipe down to size, and then start filing out the inside of it. You don't need to do anything too crazy. I used a hole saw drill bit to make this go a little quicker. I picked one that fit on the inside of the PVC still. It's probably like an inch or an inch and a quarter hole saw. It fit on the inside of the PVC with just a little bit of room to spare, and then I just sent it and I let that thing rock around on the inside and it chews up the walls, and then I come back through with the file and smooth it out with the file and sandpaper to get the final product. Once I got the grenade shell fitting inside of the PVC, I cut these notches out on the top so it'd make it easier to remove the grenade shell. In hindsight, I only needed the one on the bottom, but I did two, so whatever. Now grab your caulking gun and cut that rod off. I'm not going to tell you exactly where I cut mine because I don't fucking know. I did not measure. So, you're going to have to figure this one out on your own. My bad there. Next thing you're going to want to do is you're going to want to cut the body off of the caulking gun from the handle part like this. Wow, very nice. So next, take the body of the caulking gun that you just cut out, and you're going to want to make the notch in the front bigger so it fits over the handle of your caulking gun upside down. From the inside of the handle, pre-drill some holes and then run some screws through, chop them off flush on the back of the handle. I recommend pre-drilling even if you're using self-tappers like I did because the metal shaped kind of funny. It's hard to get the self-tapper started. Here's where the spring comes into play. Slide it over the curved part on the back of the caulking gun and then do a nice tight roll of tape behind it so it can't come off of that rod. You could probably secure this another way, but my monkey brain thought tape, and that's what I went with. With the spring in place, your trigger and firing pin should reset every time you squeeze it. Next, cut a piece of your conduit or PVC or whatever you're using just longer than the firing pin is. I did mine like a 1/4 inch longer than the firing pin. And this is going to be where the back of your grenade sits inside of the grenade launcher. I wrapped like 10 wraps of duct tape around the little tiny piece of PVC that covers the firing pin and then hot glued it into place and then screwed it in from the top and the bottom. Now remember from the beginning how I said I'm using the conduit that has the built-in coupler on the end? You're going to cut this coupler part or the secondary coupler that you may have bought, cut that at about an inch wide and then maybe like 2 inches wide. And this is going to be the 2 points that the tube of our grenade launcher slide through. You'll see in a sec. To keep the main barrel of the grenade launcher from sliding out when you open it up, drill a hole through like the very end, the back end where the grenade is going to sit. Countersink the inside of the hole so the screw sits flush on the inside of the pipe and doesn't hinder your grenade or anything. And then put a bunch of washers or a bunch of nuts on that screw to make like a little makeshift bolt kind of a deal. So now when you slide the barrel open to take out a round and load a new one, it doesn't slide all the way out the front. I had to put a little notch in the front ring of mine to get a little extra space to actually be able to fit the shell in there because I didn't measure it out big enough at the beginning. So make sure you measure it out large enough. Have your grenade shell with you when you're building this. At this point, your grenade launcher is done. You could use it exactly like this. I took a couple extra steps to make it a little prettier. I guess that's subjective. I think it's prettier. I wrapped all the openings with duct tape. I wrapped the body with duct tape. I put on some Picatinny rails on the front and the back so I can throw a 3D printed grenade launcher leaf sight on here like this one. And since I didn't measure things too good at the beginning of this, I was kind of just going by eye. The trigger pull was too long and the firing pin was pushing the grenade too deep, so it was hard to get out. If you're having this issue, just put a stopper on the handle so the firing pin physically can't protrude that much. Now for the shooting test. Bam, 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 bam.
All right, firing test of the homemade grenade launcher. I am about 40-ish feet from that target right there. Heck yeah.
Let's go.